Hey everyone, Gotchard here with another review, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the DX Legendriver and Legend Kamen Riser set from Kamen Rider Gotchard. The Legendriver itself being the main toy line's second DX driver and the Reiwa remake of the original Deca driver, and the Legend Riser being the third Kamen Riser overall, while also being a Reiwa remake of both the DN driver and the K-Touch. Now, while the regular toy line had 100 plus cards to promote, to boost sales, the designers created Legend strictly to promote the Legend Rider cards. And to an extent it worked. But before the positives, let's get the glaring fact out of the way. The driver itself is a retool of the original Deca driver, meaning that I can't properly display this thing unless I modify it, and I won't because the last time was such a hassle. But aside from the major gripes with the buckle, the actual driver itself is pretty thought out in its design. An entirely new back mechanism, a gate waiting to be opened in the standby mode, and opened, it's as the character says, gorgeous, with all of its pearl gold paint detailings and metallic green and red for the gems, as well as the transparent plastic that really sell this item and is worth the price alone. Included, you get 3 Kemi cards, 2 Legend Rider cards, and Legends Change card itself. For a Legends card, my god, does it break the mold and stand out compared to the other cards. All the gold metallic hollow foil with the mighty lion design in the center and a unique back. As for Legend Rider cards themselves, they're probably the best gimmick in Reiwa, mostly because of the creative choices that they made. The rider next to the Kemi of its own design. Sure, some cards have design liberties, but for the main riders themselves, they're quite unique, all things considered. Now, let's switch it on. And Henshin. It's pretty standard, but the real magic is with the Legend Rider cards. Yeah, much like its previous counterpart, it has all the driver sounds for the primary forms and can scan a multitude of cards no matter the rarity or complexity of it. As you can see, the first two Showa riders, all of Heisei and Reiwa, including the Geats riders, are included in this toy, which I think makes it one of the better drivers out there, and my previous statements about it being worth the price. However, the riders isn't where this beast stops. No, it can do the chemis as well. And of course, Kuga and Fies can be used in the Gotchard and vice versa. And thanks to the Sage Show, so can Legend. Now there's one last function the Legendriver can do. Yeah, shockingly on the box it has its own BGM, which to my knowledge is the very first time a standard DX toy can play a BGM from the show itself. Which again, third time in a row, this driver is definitely worth the price and is one of the better Legend drivers out there. As for the Kamen Riser itself, it only adds to the good. However, design-wise, I kind of wish they used the same shade of translucent plastic for the Legend driver itself here, because mostly all the details are hard to pick out unless you actually look at it in person, because on camera it's pretty washed out. Hell, even the back release button has detail you can barely make out. A minor gripe, for sure, but it's still a beautiful toy nonetheless. As for a gun toy, it's actually decently sized and easy to hold onto compared to the last gun toy I took a look at. Included in the set, you get the Legendary Legend card. And legendary it is, because this card really took it up a notch with the design. It's almost like a portrait with how good it looks. And yes, it does technically share the same barcode as Legend, but it's distinguished enough to be completely different. However, compared to his predecessor, there's a whole other wave of cards that come included with this form, meaning that you now have to collect a whole other set of Legend Riders, even though some of the final forms you don't like, and somebody please just end my card collecting stuff! When you turn it on, you actually do get a pretty good blaster sound effects, but that's not the main reason why you want this. While it is a bit cumbersome, it's very functional, especially when you get around to using the Legend Rider cards to access their final forms. And final attacks as well. And of course, much like the show, you can use the chemis to unlock attack sounds as well. Now, remember I said this was cumbersome a few minutes ago? Well, that's one of the problems. Next one I have is just a minor nitpick because once I remove it, I can't just slap the Legend Driver back on. No, I have to take the driver completely off, close the buckle, and then put it back on. And the fact that it's a chore already, on camera with a flappy belt strap makes this even more difficult. Another thing I'm concerned for is the fact that if you want to display any of these items, you might damage the card reader if it's anything like the Gotchard when it comes to the card reading functionalities. Sure, I keep these open in the air in my room and everything, but even then, if I wanted to say, openly display these things with cards included, I don't want to have to run into that issue. But, however, the other problems I just stated don't hinder my overall opinions of these toys, because genuinely I still stand on these being the definitive Legend Rider experiences. So if you're willing to look past the cosmetic problems I have with these, I can't recommend these two enough. Either buy them in a bundle or separately, I'll guarantee you'll have a good time with either one. And with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and this is Gotchard Green1290 signing out and reminding you to stay safe. See you guys next time.
Okay, just one last finishing touch. And there. That should do the trick.
I got your message. Is it ready?
Yep, she's ready.
Alright, gentlemen, and otherworldly time version of me, allow me to introduce to you, Didi.
Hello, I am Didi, the Dimensional Integrated Defense Intelligence System.
Cool, a helper robot. But why? Well, I figured with the Prophet off doing his own thing, making sure all the dimensions are intact, Didi here can work in the background. Watch this. Didi, run a diagnostic of all the dimensional barriers and check to see if another activity has spiked up in the last few months.
Diagnostic complete. Dimensional gates are still intact. Another activity 40%. I will keep you posted.
Impressive. Shouldn't she be more discreet than a spider bot? She doesn't have to be discreet, Captain. Originally, I wasn't gonna have her on my Digi guys, but I figured since we're off doing our own thing and he doing his thing, we want somebody to work in the background, and that's what DD is for.
I mean, yeah, sure, but I can do better than she can.
Oh yeah? Well, screw you too, lizard dog.
Hey, you wanna go?
Okay, that's enough.
Don't mind them. She'll be quite useful for all costs.
Thank you. At least somebody here appreciates what I do.
And the sooner she's in action, the better.
Alright, old girl. Let's get you started on your first mission.
Are you sure this plan's going to work?
It has to, Captain. Otherwise, we're all going to pay for it.